Hello, I'm Dr. Eng. Recently, there's been a lot of talk about the cost of healthcare, especially since the shooting of the CEO of a health insurance company in the United States. Furthermore, in Malaysia, insurance companies are thinking about increasing the health insurance premium by 40 to 70% in order to cover the cost of increased healthcare in the country. Of course, a lot of people nowadays have health insurance, and whenever they are sick and require expensive treatment, most people will have to resort to insurance in order to cover the cost. Very few people actually come up with money from their own pocket. Now, with new technology, things are getting more expensive. Of course, there is inflation as well. One of the issues that people discuss is that despite all these insurance companies are making millions and even billions every year, if they are doing that, that means the profit margin is still there. Why would they need to increase the premium by so much? Now, in heart surgery and cardiology, we always assume that surgical treatment is more expensive compared to the minimally invasive variety that cardiologists do called percutaneous coronary intervention, that is angioplasty and stenting. Of course, after heart surgery, patients have to remain in the hospital for a bit longer and the recovery takes longer. Imagine my surprise recently when one of the patients who have limited insurance coverage found out that having angioplasty and stenting, because it's more complex, actually costs more than the whole surgical cost. Now, to be honest, I was surprised too, because all along we said that bypass surgery is more expensive. Of course, nowadays, with advanced technology, even really complex coronary anatomies can be overcome. But this required additional new instruments and equipment. Not to forget the actual cost of the stent. Now, the newer generation stents are even more expensive compared to those years ago. Now, we all know that patients undergoing stenting, or PCI, are at increased risk of getting re-narrowing, restenosis of the coronary arteries, and may require repeated treatment. And that's been like that ever since the stents were introduced years ago. Now, even the Prime Minister came up with this idea that if somebody undergoes stenting and have recurrent problem within 2 years, the private hospital, have to bear further intervention and treatment. Whether this is feasible, viable or not is questionable. Of course, nobody can guarantee that a particular treatment would be successful and would last a long time. There is no question, however, that with repeated treatment, the cost overall would be higher and may well exceed the overall surgical cost, which produce much better long-term results, including survival. Of course, when we talk about angioplasty and stenting and patients requiring repeated treatment, this is only feasible for people who are lucky enough, when things happen, to get to a hospital. And then from there, to find the right cardiologist available to do the angioplasty and stenting again. Unfortunately, sometimes things happen so suddenly, and the person could be out shopping or playing golf, or things can happen in the middle of the night without anybody realizing it, that there's no chance whatsoever for these people. And this is one of the reasons why the overall long-term, medium-term, the long-term survival of patients who undergo surgery is better overall than those who undergo angioplasty and stenting. So now we add in the cost of the treatment. I think that if, say, the initial angioplasty and stenting, the PCI, costs more than the surgery, strictly speaking, priority, consideration should be offered to patients to have the surgery in the first place. But of course, initial encounter most patients have is with the cardiologist, and depending on how invasive the cardiologist is, some of them can stand anything. It wouldn't stop anybody, provided the insurance coverage is sufficient for the cost. Perhaps the insurance company will have a role and a say in this matter, considering that the cost of the surgery is better in the long term than the cost of the angioplasty and stenting. Of course, insurance company work on this pot of money that can be utilized for various resources. More claim, the higher the claim for one patient means that there's overall reduction, right, in the pot availability for other people with the same insurance policies. At the end of the day, insurance companies are businesses out to make profit, and we can understand how they would want to use this as a reason to increase the premium, which would contribute to their overall revenue. Thank you.